Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's SSRL broadcast of what is going to be race 4 out of 10. And what you can see in front of us is Season 8 in F125 for our, what is already the second season on this year's iteration of game. We are today heading to Miami, and obviously to give you an idea of what that looks like is the track map in front of you, the main straight with the main overtaking opportunity inside of the first 11 corners in blue currently, and then the back straight in yellow after that highway passing basically into turn 17, often regarded as the final turn of the track. Could be and maybe should be as well to help with racing, but yeah, goes into what is officially the first steer zone on this track, which rarely sees overtaking. Usually it just helps to stay with the car in front so you can follow along and save some ERS. And then you try to stay with the car in front through the dirty air inside of that first sector. That is very technical, where you can benefit from a bit of extra downforce, but overall speaking, in order to make passes, you need to run low wings in this year's game, which makes it especially tricky on tire wear, which is going to be a talking point. I have an update for you on the lineup, and I have no grip has been replaced by UJ. Fortunately, I have no render for that, but that's what you can expect to see for tonight. We're gonna talk about that result from last time out, and it's gonna be the results of Canada. Rolly took a second win inside of this start to the season, 2 out of 3 won, but is missing tonight, so that is very important for our championship picture, as UJ is now full-time with Ferrari, so he's also scoring or has scored these points for Ferrari and will continue to do so. Let me check if they actually counted these towards his points tally already. He has 51 and Kovetska has 26. Yeah, okay, that is correct then. Okay. So, big points for Ferrari then coming up, and I'm sure, he's racing tonight as well, so that's huge as well. Salvi third, second podium, second time third, after missing out in, I think it was Japan. I think he was not on the podium in Japan, but in Singapore. Is that correct? Yeah, that is correct. Wooly was third there. We have Takagino, very strong fourth finish. We have Jamaican Jam, who come back from being basically last at one stage, where we had lots and lots of different strategies because of weather changes in between. So some people opted, including Rolly, and I think that was Uj as well, to stay on their hard tire that they started on and then switch when the rain came. And that was the only stop. But there was a very dry patch at the end, and Salvi was way closer than the 9 seconds here suggests, because he actually caught back to them after he pitted for a late charge of 6 laps onto soft tires. Then we have Mr. Chot, who came back after qualifying banned for Canada to 6th position in front of Skizzolo, who has yet again scored a big points finish for Kick Sauber. ADS in front of Kovačka, who actually took pole position. Kovačka down 2 positions, not that great, but still points. Johnny Regazzoni on his debut for McLaren and inside of SSRL. Then, kind of a bad race from Randog. Didn't go as planned, and then lapped Devzi, Kwan, Matt the Tank, T-Bran, who also scored the point for the fastest lap because of his earlier stint before the rain hit. And we had Falco Warrior and Ibo lapped multiple times. Krankjörg and Vincenzo DNF bringing out safety car, which also made things more interesting. Rolly is leading the championship by 69 nice points, with Salvi currently listed in second position. That is obviously incorrect, as Eugene is now to a full-time seat. So second goes to UJ, third is Salvi, then we have fourth with Tark and Gino. So yeah, you can see that Aston Martin is strong in the drivers' championship, which obviously translate to a similar position in just a couple of moments' time. And with Rendog T-Brand, who basically only scored in 1 out of the first 3 races, missed Singapore, and then only 2 points in Canada on an absolutely awful strategy. Kovachka skid solo, both of the kick Saubers inside of the top 10. It's nice to see. Jamaican Jam is therefore 9th, Cranko 10th. Kuan is 11th. Had a very good race in Singapore, but DNF'd in Japan and couldn't claw back in Canada. Mr. Ben showed, good race in Canada. Said, Japan missed apparently, I think, ADS still struggles. Pace seems to be there, but inconsistent. Matt then, that run result put Johnny Regazzoni ahead of Ibo. Desi and Falcaroy in the next, and then with some reserves, as the only team yet to score is VCarb, who currently are out without a team. I'm currently seeing what else I'm missing here, because I only see basically 18th. No, that's correct then, okay. Constructors, 104, sorry, not 401. 104 to 73, that's still doable, especially with Rolly, who has been on the podium in all the first 3 races to claw some back. And it says after that in front of Mercedes, Williams Sauber, then with Red Bull, McLaren, Alpine. Hard to believe, but it's actually that no position change was happening for these team standings for the first for the third round. So let's see. We are still waiting. We are still waiting on the start of the session.
Yeah, just about to do the announcement now.
All right, and there is Quincy as well. Are you good to go?
Yep.
All right, and welcome in. We are looking forward to a race that will most likely feature a new podium sitter here tonight, as Rowley is missing, who has been on the podium for the first 3 races and took 2 wins out of the first 2. UJ, who is now a full-time racer for Ferrari and currently in second position in the Drivers' Championship, has a huge opportunity to claw some major points back. Who do you think is going to be fighting for the top 3 spots for tonight?
I did some practice with ADS. I know I like to talk about the Red Bulls a lot. I know I do. I'm a little bit biased. But I did some practice early on in the week with ADX, a good friend of mine, and he was in the 27s, Herman. So I think a possible podium for him, if he can keep it clean, keep it out of the wall, keep it away from the drive-throughs, the 10-second penalties for the pits, and obviously also choosing the right tires. So I'm looking forward to, him probably be there. T-Brand's definitely going to be there. And, Quan. I think Quan has a good opportunity to bounce back here and perhaps make it a double podium for the Williams. What do you think?
I reckon that one name I haven't heard you mention before, we could also be seeing Salvi in front again. I'm interested to see how and when people
Not too sure about that. Not too sure, because Salvi's on a wheel now.
Oh.
This is his first race with a wheel, so I expect him to be towards the back, unfortunately. Unless he's obviously the magic man and he's this is going to improve his space. But as you know, that transition takes a little time. So I expect to see him towards the back today, Herman, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I think if you start off with a new input device, you expect to at least finish and not score your usual amount of points. Okay, let's see. Assessment of ADS is pretty fair, you have to say. The pace seems to be somewhat there anyway. Obviously the pole position showed that last time, but consistency is an issue. T-Brand needs to bounce back. Juan couldn't have a good redemption race after his crash in Japan and Canada, but you have to say all of these first three tracks we had so far, including today Miami, they've been tough. Like, you can look at these tracks and say that Miami, Canada, and our opener in Singapore are all street tracks, and they are very hard on punishing those drivers, especially if you are on used tires, they're trying to go long. We had that issue with the weather in Canada where Salvi caught them with a 6-lap stint at the end on the soft tires, but was unable to make a pass there. So we are gonna be looking at who and how drivers manage these tires, because we both know that this is not a guaranteed call on anything. So for me, the ones that worked to win that race inside of my championship charge, what was the 11th out of 12 round last season. But you have been a strong defender of the 2-stop. Is it going to be maybe a choice of comfortability here for the drivers today, so you can push more on fresher tires?
I am a strong advocate for the 2-stop because not only can you push every single lap, which I feel like this track you need to be a little bit pushy to get the results that you need, because if you go under the limit, here you could tend to lock up into certain corners like the DRS straight before the back straight. You could massive lock up into there. You could understeer into the wall as you're coming through that Mickey Mouse section area. There's a lot of places for errors, and small errors can make a massive difference when it comes to track limits, damage, because you can damage your front wing easily here. So I advocate for the 2-stop because you can maintain a consistent pace with the fresh tires, and the undercut is also massive here as well. I mean, we caught up to those guys that were doing the 1-stop in Division 2 last season massively, and the only reason I didn't win that race, in my opinion, was because of some joisting and battling with ADS. And I think one of the only reasons you won that race also, if you don't mind me saying, is that Bavish was holding up David massively in order to get you, because David was on a steamer at the end and he was going to get everybody, I think. So if there's no fighting and you get these two people that can probably work together who are on the 2-stop, it can work. But the 1-stop can work so long as the guys in the middle in the traffic fight. And if that happens, if it's not clean for the guys on the 2-stop, it won't work.
Yeah, I would say that. Are you sure you meant ADS? I think you meant energetic with the fighting.
Yes, energetic. Sorry,
okay.
not ADS. Yeah,
no problem. I agree. There's like one major difference to all of these previous 2 races we just recently had, is that the field is totally different. The Division 1 field is closer and is higher on the level, so there's like lots of high level fighting that is like you really need to edge out the drivers in terms of positioning, performance, and obviously fresh tire helps. So the advantage there is obviously higher, but these drivers are also better at preserving tires. The thing here I can see is that since there's like maybe 2 or 3 drivers who currently have a slight pace advantage, looking at UJ, T-Bran, possibly Quan, they could be also in this like sense where they can push comfortably, make the first stint like super comfortable in order to have like a slight undercut window where they are like, let's say, 7 seconds behind the slowest car out of the pits after the first stop, and then they can work their way through. And then it's really depending on how good is the midfield. Are they dropping back? Are they dropping like flies, or are they so struggling with the tire to make the 1-stop work that they are not comfortable in putting up a fight and just letting people through, like you've been seeing maybe in the early start of the 2020s, where mostly when there was a midfield driver, you wouldn't fight with the Mercedes, the Red Bull, and obviously we know that the Mercedes was even way better than the Red Bull. So I can see this being a case of, if the top of the midfield is fast enough and is genuinely troublesome throughout the first stint, and if people at the front, like yourself in the Division 1 race, are fighting too much, then that could obviously impact you later in the race, because yes, undercut is strong both times, but then you have to say there is still traffic, and with currently 15 drivers, that's not too bad. But if the pace is really tight, and the field is close together, then that could be troublesome. So you need to make sure that you pass as soon as you can, because this part we're seeing T-Brand start off his lap is incredible difficult on the tires, and you need to be out of that dirty air as soon as you can. First lap time comes in from Randog, and also quick message in the chat from Jamaican Jam. He's gonna cry because it's an all dry race. Thank you for that. As ADS and also Tak and Gino to take to the first lap times, as this is immediately beaten by Mr. Chot, who had a fantastic race last time with a qualifying band to P6 at the end. Current assessment for one of the new guys, pretty good, I would say, no?
Yeah, so I was meant to say something about this guy. Dark Horse, I'd like to say. He's shown incredible pace. I think he got upwards of 10 positions last time he was out here as well. So one to look out for. I mean, he's done well for Mercedes so far. He's always sort of coming from the back due to either being impeded in qualifying or impeding somebody else and having a quali ban himself. So looking the Mercedes team looking strong. Tarkin Gino pulling his weight for the Aston Martin outfit today, P2. He's 4 to 10ths behind. So let's see what he can do with that. Crankjorg up to 4th place, which is not so surprising to see, to be honest.
UJ was incredibly wide into turn 1, as I was just starting to see what the newly appointed Ferrari driver can do. We've seen him for Ferrari twice, and obviously that one outing for, I think that was Mercedes as well. So yeah, T-Brand takes the top spot right now with a couple of minutes already gone by. There's plenty of space out on track. You can basically judge this as a Q2 session where the last 15 are there to stay, and obviously we have our one-shot full qualifying session in China, I believe, coming up next week. So
yeah, looking forward to that for sure.
People will enjoy that bit of space already, I think. And ADS into second position, very close there on the second place digits there, only missing out by a couple of hundreds there, as UJ is very tight into that chicane. Didn't open up the corner very well, I would say. And there's a slight oversteer as well, so he's blasting that ES down. I'm assuming this is some sort of a banker lap, as also Sebo, Jamaican Jam are currently out on flyers, and we're going to see the end of this one. Final 3 turns for the Spanish driver. Can he do what Fernando Alonso couldn't do in a couple of years' time at Ferrari? Bring home a championship with the Scuderia, as they have currently, or are currently holding the Constructors World Championship trophy to their name after you and ADS clinched that last season. So Ibo into the turn 17 hairpin. That was very cautious on the braking there. I'm expecting to see something around the bottom end of that, and it's a 44.7, 44.277, sorry, as now Jamaican Jam is locking up into the final turn, final hairpin, and there was I think a misunderstanding with his teammate who was going slowly into the turn. Goes over the line to 6th position, so a second between him and his teammate as of right now, who comes into the pit lane behind Chark and Gino. And Desi and Regazzoni, as well as Skid Solo, are yet to set lap times, but Desi and Skid Solo out on track.
Very close between T-Brand and ADS. Can we see another ABS clinch? You know, sometimes T-Brand can be prone to a little bit of invalidation on some of his last push laps. So Rendog coming out of the pits now on his out lap. Jamaican Jam coming back in. Have we got anybody on our hot lap currently? I don't think we do. Devsy. Interesting story about Devsy. Such a really kind guy. He messaged me today after watching who he complimented us on our stream last week, saying that he obviously impeded one of the drivers, the McLaren of Johnny Ragazzoni last time out. And he was just wondering whether to serve his quali ban even though he wasn't reported. So just a message to the guys that if you do feel like you're impeded, or you do have an incident out on track, please use the report functions, as it obviously will improve our driving. But just wanted to share that there. I did tell him that it's not necessary, as we have the things in place to do the reports and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see where he gets to with this qualifying today, as he's on a hot lap down now towards turn 10. He's using a little bit more battery than I would have. but he's in medium, which is good to see that at least somebody listens to our commentary and our recommendations as he goes through this tight section here. He locks up a little bit, but gets the good turn in. And he's out down now past turn 15 onto the back straight, where he assumably will be burning all of his battery until he gets to that DHL board, which is usually where I brake. I brake a little bit earlier than most, probably. But yeah, he's going to go down all the way to this DHL board. He does brake nicely. Gets the turn in. Very nice indeed. Let's see where he ends up, Herman.
Final 2 turns for the Alpine driver, who's been suffering from disqualifications inside of the season so far and is currently to 12th position. Next up is Skid Solo, already into turn 11, as more and more people are rejoining the track for their second attempts.
Oh, T-Brand's crashed!
In front of
T-Brand's
us!
crashed right into the turn, I think it's the turn 14?
Yeah,
I'm
14, 15 chicane.
Yeah, right into the wall. He's gonna, I bet he's glad he did that in qualification and not in the race, because he cannot have another stinker, because he could be out of the championship with if this continues with these certain things. I know he missed one race in the beginning, but the shambles of the Canadian Grand Prix is haunting him down here in Miami in the street circuit.
It's all over the line. 10th position for now. Yeah, continue.
ADS has really got to get this lap in now to secure what would be his second pole in SSRL history. Can he do it?
We're gonna watch the end of Kovac's lap, who's currently running in 11th. The one guy to be, climbing those ranks inside of the race, usually not in qualifying, beats his teammate to 9th. That is currently his best position. There is Kwon starting a lap now. There is, I think, Salvi breaking into the turn 17 happened. Yes, that is. So currently the first guy out of the 1 minute 27s, as Tiran and ADS are still the only guys to breach into the 26s. And now Salvi comes over the line, goes to a 27.6. Well. Next driver is Mr. Chod. No, he goes into the pit lane. After that, Devsy again. Who's that? That's ADS starting his lap. We will watch that
so what
at the
I'm going
end.
to do is I'm going to go on. We're going to go on board with him now. Actually, let's see. So turn 1, third gear. He gets a nice turn in. Uses the curb on the outside and the inside as well, as he is pushing like hell. Herman. He's going down towards turn number 4, flicks it in to the right, to the left. Let's see how he handles. He goes a bit wide. I think he's invalidated. No, he hasn't. He's gone a little bit slow there as he comes out of turn 8. I think he's abandoned the lap, Herman.
Yeah, that is certainly an abandoned lap
Personally,
time.
I would have kept pushing, but yeah.
I'm surprised he took 6 there for the right-hand side turn still.
Yeah, I think little tiny mistakes. His teammates down there now, same turns, turn 5, turn 6.
Now let's continue.
He gets a much better turn in than his compadre, and he is boosting down now. Oh, and he abandons the lap as well. What's going on, Mr. Red Bull?
I don't know. Kwon to 5th. Kwon to 5th. Good sign from the wins. You have to say T-Brand is still looking at probably a top 5 finish here. I don't see many people beating a 0.909. So, yeah, as you said, he's probably happy that happens now. We're going to watch the rest of Takengino's lap, who's currently blasting down the main straight. Just for you to know, main reference is the other one is the back straight, because it feels like it's in a back alley of a highway section. I don't know. So this is the main straight into turn 11, one of the best overtaking opportunities. Watch for those track limits on the exit and don't push your rivals wide, because then you're going to be crash prone for what happens into the next couple of corners. This one is mostly single file, can be seen some racing, as there's now a split time of nearly 3/10 improvement for Takengino. Would jump Kwon only, but there's still one big straight to go, and you can always make time up in the slow corners. This is always something. Oh yeah. Yeah, make up something. He locked up something, and there was his front brake, so bit too eager there. Let's see if he can.
Such a shame there. Such a shame.
If he can find more time come the end. I'm surprised that we basically see no one do the hot lap cooldown hot lap strategy on the tires.
The tyres are not that great as far as I remember for quali. They're only good for about 1 lap. They get to about 5 or 6%.
Was that only Miami? Because I don't recall that being the case for all of the previous 3 races. Like, I don't see anyone basically do this.
I would probably,
me.
with this track, I'd probably do even a double hot lap so that I can run with the minimalist amount of fuel
also
for
good
this
shout.
track.
I'm surprised for Canada because it's the C6 there and it heats up pretty fast, but if you do the correct cooldown, and obviously it's a short lap, so you need to be very mindful of, but like Canada, Austria, and Hungary have like more laps of fuel inside of the 5 kilos than most of the other tracks. So especially short ones, you kind of need to be doing something to keep the fuel load down. So if you want to do like 2 out laps, basically, and then you just stick with the 5 kilos, but after that you can still go 6 kilos, do a hot lap, a cooldown, a hot lap, and then come in back again, and you may be even saving a tire. Because I think for me especially, going into grinding basically into the session where like you make yourself comfortable with the banker, you have a time on board, and you continue to push. I barely did that on 24, and I don't know why. Don't know if that's with the tires or not, but yeah, I can't remember doing that that much as well. Kovachka is gonna start his next lap as well. As currently Mr. Short is already on a fly out of turn 4.
He's in sector 1 currently.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching that though, as he's one of the guys who continues to be using that hot lap mode. I've seen T-Burn on his first and only attempt also doing that, and that seemed
Goes
a bit
wide there on turn 8, yeah, for sure. Oh, hits the curb. Only 80th of a second, and he abandons the lap as well. Guys, you need to try and complete. There's so many other sectors you can gain time in. I would just continue to push, especially... Well, I guess let's see what fuel he's got.
Oh, Skid Solo has a second up on his best time according to his second split time. Let's see. End of the lap now for the Kick Sauber driver. Is probably going to be his final attempt here. 12th position for now. 28.8. What can he do? 28.0. That's not too bad. 10th position for Skid Solo has been welcomed inside of the best position for what was the second race. Yeah, Japan. I think he had the 5th place. So career best finish for Skid Solo. Let's see what's with Kovachka. Split time comes up. It's 1.5 tenths, almost 2. That is currently only enough to beat Skid Solo, who just set a lap time, but you should continue and push on with the rest of the lap. More people are on flyers already, and trying to post their lap time soon. Into the hairpin goes Kovachka, and now I'm gonna see where the time is currently staying. I'm surprised UJ is still down there. Kovachka jumps to 8th position on the 27.7. So
Alex
still
has lost it.
Devsy over the line. Finds... Oh my god, was a jump. 1.4 seconds. 27.7 as well. Beats Kovachka. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Lovely lap there. I think Alex has muttered his last and final attempt. All he needed was not even a tenth to beat the pole time. This is his perfect opportunity. I think the pressure may have got for him. Rendog on a lap right now, coming out of turn 16, all the way down, blasting 50% ERS currently. He's boosting down. I missed the split there. I'm not sure if he was up or down.
Yeah, 1.5 tenths up.
1.5 tenths. Okay, that's good stuff. He could. You never know. He could end up doing it here. You never know. Commentator's curse. He spins and he slams into the wall. So sorry, Rendog. Sorry about that. Mr. Chod is 4 tenths up currently. So if my math is correct, that probably would put him in the
ADS is through.
Third.
He has invalid lap time, not enough time left, and he's probably gonna impede Korn because his AI is gonna no, he's pitting. Thankfully, the AI is pitting, and Korn goes to 5th position. Didn't improve on that final attempt. Kovachka is through. UJ is only 13th. Huge mess up here. What's with
Everyone's
Salvi?
messing up their
Salvi
last
to
laps.
5th position. 4 tenths down, only on pole position on his first attempt on the wheel. Devsy is through. Who is next?
We have to see if he's actually still on the wheel or not. When we hopefully he gets a podium and we can ask him, or the driver of the day interview. Who knows?
Tarkino, because there's no lap time from Crankyor coming. What is with is Jamaican Jam also on a lap?
He's 10th up, I believe, nearly a 10th. Oh,
Fell away
from the
there.
last split I saw.
Takagino
Takagino
is in need to maybe climb a few places to get some points back for Aston Martin. Does so. Jumps to 4th position on his final attempt. Is there something left for ADS inside of this qualifying session? Currently exactly 2 tenths behind the guy
This is
in
Jamaican Jam.
front. Yeah, sorry. My bad. And he goes to 7th.
P7. He's in the 27s. He'll be happy with that.
T-Brand on pole position after crashing 15 years ago, basically.
Okay, if I was anybody else in that session, I would be smashing my keyboard or steering wheel like Isaac Hajar when something goes wrong, because this was a perfect opportunity. You know, you had the track evolution there to take advantage of these moments, guys. That's all I can say. What the hell was that?
Also, McDonald's internet call from Johnny Regazzoni. That's why he didn't say a lap time. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see his at the back of the race. Back of the field doing
I'm
something,
having
but
some noise here. I don't know what it is. It sounds like a big barking dog or something.
well, T-Brand takes another pole position in front of ADS. Randog in 3rd at the end. Takagino, Mr. Chotso, good starting positions for Mercedes. And Salvi, Jamaican Jam, Kuan, Desi, Kovačka, Kranjo, Skid Solo, UJ, Ibo, and Regazzoni. I'm surprised UJ didn't find anything. He's so far down, and he didn't.
It's very track specific, I feel sometimes, Mr.
He
UJ.
didn't have two, like he was in, I think, after the 12-minute mark already. Like 12, 11-minute mark, and that's basically still 2 other runs. So let's see what he can do. I want your race predictions, please. We know already.
I'm gonna have to go with T-Brand for P1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Rendog for P2, and I'm gonna go with Mr. Chod for P3.
And 4th and 5th.
Am I gonna go with that? 4th and 5th, ADS and Tarkangino. Actually, no, I take that back. So, Salvi, I have a hidden suspicion that Salvi is probably not on his rig yet, because he's doing some pretty good lap times for someone who's just transitioned. So I'm gonna say a Salvi podium is on. So Tarkangino, oh, goodness sake, T-Bran, Rendog, Salvi, ADS, and Mr. Chod. That's what I will say was my top 5.
Okay, yeah. Good thing I'm using a pencil for these.
Thank God.
I'm gonna yeah, I don't know. I'm so scared. I'm so scared after, like, obviously weather was in play, but I'm so scared that T-Rand doesn't know what the strategy is gonna be like. Okay, I'm gonna back Alex here. I'm gonna go ADS win. I'm gonna go T-Rand 2nd. I'm thinking that Tarkangino podium finally happens.
Hope so.
I'm kind of gambling on Salvi is actually on the wheel, and quality performance is easily achieved than managing tires. So I'm saying he's not in the top 5. I'm saying that Jamaican Jam is taking a 4th position, so good result for Red Bull, and I'm gonna go for Rendog in 5th. And I'm gonna say one additional thing, but just a quick remark from me. UJ is gonna make it into the top 6, so I have a feeling.
Oh, I forgot about UJ all the way down there, you know.
Yeah, but a top 5 would be a stretch, but
I don't know. He's pretty quick. I've seen him climb greater heights than the one he has right now. Oh man, we're gonna regret that, I think. But we'll
yeah, well, Dave and I always battled against Energetic, and he proved us wrong. So we have to have
every
something
time.
yeah, for the story. So
yeah. Hoping not many safety cars this evening, hoping everything goes pretty clean so we can actually see some of these strategies, because genuinely a 1-stop or a 2-stop could work here. It just depends on how you are with your tires, but who the hell wants to be saving tires at the end of the race, eh? We just want to we come to drive, and we come to drive fast, so we push to the very end. Let's see how the first lap goes around, because even though ADS is starting in P2, I successfully, in both Division 1 and 2, jumped both guys who beat me to pole, meaning Danger David and I believe it was Energetic that got pole here, was it?
Yeah, I think
last
so.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I beat both those guys to the inside and secured P1, and that's half the battle. If you can get a good launch down the inside, get the braking zone completely right, you can gain that P1 very easily if you're smart with the throttle. And then, through the S section, that's just you got to get in there. But if you're behind somebody in dirty air, immediately you're on the back foot with the tires, with the heat, with the dirty air. You got to strike first. These conditions, these hot conditions don't last for very long, as you know. Here we've had a lot of wet, so I would make use of it, get that launch, get it in good, and then fight. If you're in front, you can control the pace, save all your ERS in sector one, burn it all down the straight. You got to use those tactics. Save it again in the Mickey Mouse section, blast it down the other straight. You can do that for a lot of times. Depending on what setup people are using. What kind of setup would you say would suit here? A very, very low, or would you put a little bit of wing on to help you in that sector 2 section, Herman?
Yeah, a bit of wing like we've seen with the iterations, I think, before the race happened last season. Yeah, I think the very low, almost nothing on the rear wing was not that great. One final thing, I would say one safety car makes this certainly more of a one-stop because you can save tires. Two safety cars would probably mean lots and lots of switching between the tire compounds available to these drivers.
Everyone's
and we've
on
seen
mediums.
everyone on mediums. I'm surprised by that.
Me too. I expected at least someone brave to at least get in on the hards, but I think maybe they all watched the race from last season, saw that maybe isn't the best choice. I mean, the medium tire is not the best here. I feel like the hards are a better tire. I personally preferred the mediums because the pace for me was a lot stronger, and I only needed to be on them for a certain amount of laps. But yeah, let's see. If everyone's starting on mediums, this is going to be a very interesting race. I think what lap was it for a one stop? I think it was like 15, 16, something like that.
I think earliest was 13 or something.
13. My goodness. Actually, saying that, I stopped on lap 8 for my hards when I was, the tires started wearing for me at lap 8. So I was using a very extreme setup at that time. I think I had like 4 on the rear wing or something like that. So something crazy. So, and people were running lower than that, Herman. It was crazy to see on the straights, but they nearly got me on the straight, but I had it all in the corners, and they had to then use their ERS more than I did. So sometimes running a little bit of wing will actually help you out in a race stint rather than just being the quickest on a straight. That's for sure.
Yeah, but you have to say this game is like the heaviest on. You can't get by if you don't have low wings, so.
Yeah.
Quite the opposite from the previous iteration, where put max wing to stay throughout all of the corners, and then DS was so powerful you're gonna get past anyway, no matter how long the straight was. Like even shorter straights like Hungary or Japan, where like this is basically, in terms of how they designed it, the only overtaking opportunity. Especially true for Hungary, because the second run into turn 2 is basically way shorter. And Japan has the chicane as a better overtaking opportunity. So yeah.
Oh, oh god, Rendog, mute your microphone. How do I?
Go to settings, audio, and then mute everyone by default. While you do that, we are going to the 5 red lights for the Miami Grand Prix. Race 4 out of 10 inside of Season 8. It's ADS against T-Bran at the front. And it's lights out and away we go. We have T-Bran against ADS into the first turn, but the Williams keeps the position around the outside. Oh, there's almost a spin by Rendog. Goes completely sideways, pushes Tarkingino to the outside, who's immediately in a fight with Mr. Chod, as Korn is down to 7, is still fighting with Salvi at the exit of the first 2 turns. And there's no overtaking opportunity there, basically, into the S section, as Jamaican Jam gets immediately wide on the entry into that S section before the very long and everlasting turn 7-8 combo before you go onto the straight. Brief introduction to the strategy at the bottom of your screen, as there's a side-by-side moment with UJ and I think Salvi already, who is into 10th position fighting for 9th. after a bad qualifying, could be onto something. As we've mentioned before, he has fought tougher battles, and there's wing damage to the left-hand side end plate of the Haas driver. The only that is with us here today, as T-Bran has already almost gapped ADS into the first part of these, basically 16 corners, as Randog has lost the DRS to ADS immediately. And now is probably trailing or is pushing along with him. Takagino and Mr. Chotter's Jamaican Jam is basically the next guy to form a train that consists of more than 6 cars. Is there a team maternal battle here? Skid Solo goes to the inside of Crankyog and takes the position away as a brief yellow flag. And Kwan is off. Kwan is off into the wall. But he's not dead this time.
Oh, no, Kwan. He is going to pit though. Yeah, he's got major wing damage. Major wing damage for Kwan as his teammate saw. 10 seconds. Oh man, this is just going from worse to worse for the Williams. Well,
wait, hang on a second. Didn't also Rush get a 10-second penalty in that race?
I think he did, yeah.
My god, the brothers are on it. Or onto something, I don't know. And
sharing the same strategies, that's for sure, yeah.
Same strategies. Randog into the DRS, maybe again. ADS, did he get it? Yes. And there's an underfueling by Randog of almost a lap, so he is thinking about either saving some
safety cars,
or safety cars, which almost happened, I think, with Korn or Ibo, as Takagino is at the back of Randog. And Mr. Chot goes extremely wide there into turn 12. Getting the braking right is especially crucial into that turn, and obviously if you lock the rears, they're going to be punished more because you're going to be needing them throughout this race as Skid Solo overtakes the limpering Salvi. This track features a variety of corners, and I haven't counted them, but I would say it's quite even for left and right hand side turns as T-Bran is under pressure from ADS, goes to the outside, the Red Bull that is, and the Williams is trying to defend that and is currently still at... there's
wow, what an overtake. What an overtake, Herman. Squeezes into the smallest gap as he's into first. Goes a little bit wide into turn 1 there. Hopefully he can keep his nerves intact as he goes through turn 2, turn 3, and he's pushing away a little bit as T-Bran has a little bit of a squiggle. All he has to do now is to cruise into now and hope he doesn't get overtaken again. Rendog trying his best to follow, but he's out of the DRS as for certain currently at the moment, as he's closing down. Takagino is closing him down. Ugh, words today, honestly. Yes, Takagino is closing him down, has got the DRS. Seems Rendog is also, Rendog no DRS this time round. So, let's go Gino.
T-Bran is opting for staying back, but there are plenty of overtaking opportunities still on this laps for him left, and there are probably more to come throughout the next couple of laps as well. And now Rendog is always a bit there on the edge with the timing, and that was quite close again. Let's see. He got that DRS that helps him obviously defend, as Shot is now obviously forming that next DS train. Let's go to UJ, who's the closest and will actually pass his teammate using a lot of battery. So this is rather not on mutual agreement, rather than trying to have for everyone to have their own race. And UJ is into 7th already on what is probably 3/4 of a lap down on fuel, and is currently down to 0% of battery, which is quite interesting to see.
Yeah, he's trying to get in there. He's trying to get in that fight, Herman, as he's squiggly down. He loses the back end a little bit through turns 1 and 2, and he loses it again. Seems like the harder he tries to push the car, the more the car pushes back. ADS versus T-Bran on another stint. I'm certain T-Bran's probably playing the long game here, where he's just going to save tyres. He's saving his ERS currently. He's currently got 20% more as ADS is pushing on. When I was battling with Energetic on this track, I tended to actually save a lot of my battery, just stick it into none, and only boost when I really needed to, when I saw him coming, because otherwise you're going to put yourself in a difficult position when it comes time to this long straight that they're coming up to, Herman.
I was on board with ADS on the rear wing view, and it seemed like even if both of them were pushing for a short amount of time, it seems like ADS exits are way better, and the top speed is also good. So He's using like 10% at the start of the straight, and even on hot lap and the DRS, T-Bran is not catching. So maybe a slight disadvantage on top speed for T-Bran, who is now obviously gonna be at a disadvantage in the sense that he needs to lock out these exits to make sure he's in a position, and he is closer, but this straight isn't really for overtaking. You should always save your battery here, and if one guy behind tries to fight you, then it's probably because of poor race intelligence. Because both of you gonna be losing huge
you lose out. You lose out there. But sometimes, you know, I've always wanted to be in front in this section, because being in the dirty air, I know it looks a bit different now. Alex is going all over the place, but being in the dirty air in this section, terrible thing to be doing, because you just get a worse time of it. And now I think T-Bran will be smart to actually push and get past ADS at this one, and probably try and extend the gap towards the finish to try and get. Still don't know what these guys are going to do in terms of strategy.
Yeah, we're 3 laps away from your predicted 2-stop window, as there's a Williams to the outside that turns to the inside. ADS is in need to give space, and then try to hang it around the outside. That uses a lot of your tires, because that corner is very off angle in the sense that you push the outside tires to extreme loads, even in slow speed corners like this. And now obviously ADS is trying to stay with T-Bran. He is using almost 30% of that battery, 40 now, 50. I don't know why he's trying to stay desperately ahead, because it got 60% almost usage there for the Polish Williams driver, who's currently leading after passing on that straight. Let's go back a bit further to UJ, who's on the back of Jamaican Jam. Teammate Kovacka has been dropped, and there's a yellow flag because of Ser Ibo and a crash chunk. York, what's going on there? And there's a brief yellow for that. Yeah, has rejoined that, so nothing to worry about in terms of virtual interaction from safety car. And nothing has come of that, so all good. Green flag racing again. This corner is now soon back with them. Currently 41 seconds down on these guys, and he's on hard tires as well. So huge disadvantage. Took very long stop, and will be serving an additional 10-second time penalty come his next stop, which he is probably very likely to be needing anyway. But if he's good to his tires, he doesn't need a third stop, because if you push too much, you're gonna be on the third stop on this race, as he goes by on Ibo, who has been consistently at the back but still finish races. Currently in 15 and the only points paying position that would have been left anyway. And sort of
T-Bran's getting better exits now that he's in front. He's shooting out a 5/10 gap now here, as ADS powers down the back
burning a lot here. Again. Almost 40%. Outside
Great
line.
Defensive maneuver there by T-Bran. Oh, as they both lose it a little bit. Like you said, this straight is really for saving, so I wouldn't be emptying my tank trying to get past here.
And UJ is by on Jamaican Jam. Is he fighting back? Yeah, inside line comes back towards you at the inside of 19, and UJ is trying to stay around the outside of that Red Bull. That inside line is not very nice, but turns out to be better here, because you don't really have to ride the curb to give the other car space. And now they lost almost an additional second only from fighting through the first 3 turns.
Yeah, don't do it, guys. Work together. You're going to lose more time than you're going to gain. And a little bit of he tried to do that overtake without DRS, UJ, but at the same time, great racing from the guys to give each other space and not make contact.
ADS is further away from T-Bran than Rendog is to ADS, and he has been burning through that ERS a couple of laps now, is currently on a disadvantage and was even using that, so he's losing out on these exits now, and obviously the tire is getting away when you drive for a couple of laps behind the car in front in the dirty air. So you need to be making sure that you are in tip-top shape. But his ERS management is currently worse than the driver leading, and maybe, just maybe, Rendog has opted for a better and more low downforce setup than he had for what I think was Japan, where he was really struggling on the straight, as UJ goes and takes Jamaican Jam. And I'm hoping
Alex, ADS pits.
pit stop, no penalty.
Pits early.
Yeah.
Probably something to do with his strategy with him and Jamaican Jam. But yeah, he pits. Let's see where he comes out. Remember, I was talking about that undercut. Let's see. T-Brown's got a lot of battery. He might be wise to use a lot of it now to get
he's
in
doing
on
that.
this in lap. Yep.
He's
Rendog as
extending.
well. Rendog probably, I don't know, probably will one-stop it. I've known him for a long time as well now, and he tends to go for the longer strategies because he can manage his tires, especially if he's going to be leading this race.
That was so close with the AI from Regazzoni, who was trying to avoid Salvo. He just spun again. Who's still on that stricken front wing, and that was so close for the S on these kind of cold tires.
Yeah, left side damage there for Salvi on the end plate.
And we're currently observing the gap to the cars. Do you know what the pit stop delta is for the track? Maybe.
Pit stop is about 18 seconds, if I remember rightly. I will just double check.
Yeah, thank you very much, because he's currently on the 18-second mark and is about to be undercutting.
Yep, 18.5 seconds. So everything all in total, probably a good 20-something seconds for that pit stop. CFT Brown's going to come in. He has used a lot more battery than he has on previous laps, so I'm guessing he will answer the call to the 2-stop. No, he does not. He goes on. That is a mistake. I think that's...
Tarkingino in. Tarkingino is answering the call from ADS. He was
Red
a couple
Bull
of
will be in
seconds
as
behind.
well. Jamaican Jam in as well. Uj up 9 positions currently, going pretty well as he's passed his teammate as his teammate goes for a tank slapper through turns number 1. Skid Solo up a good amount of positions as well, going pretty well. Looks like his accelerator is still holding on. Rendog is losing time now, losing a lot of time as
ADS comes out basically 4 seconds in front of Tarkingino, who just pitted as the first guy to respond. So that's not too bad. He was a similar distance away, but obviously he needs to be finding his groove for these tires as we await more pit stops to come. I don't hate that you can, if you want to extend, I don't mind that, but it's obviously
it's not a good idea.
so harder to get time. Oh, virtual safety car. Something happened.
No way.
Something happened. What happened?
I can't see. Sarivo, maybe?
Salvia's lost all of his front wing now. Salvia's spun it somewhere. Maybe that's an indicator for the wheel. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
definitely not going
100% of his wing. 100% of his wing is gone.
Yeah, the question is it gonna last long enough? Because we don't have a timer until it stops, or we will wait until the track map at the bottom. No! Drive through penalty for T-Bran! Drive through penalty for T-Bran immediately after the virtual safety car stops, and he almost
and he crashes into the wall. He crashes into the wall.
He almost... Yeah, that was certainly a half spin. This is probably going to be the drive through penalty first, no?
I would hope so for his sake, because he still needs to go another 2 laps to make a 1-stop work.
Yeah,
so,
but I think he didn't want to now because of the...
I don't think he wanted to,
Yeah, that's now...
But he's going to have to convert this into a 1-stop now. He's going to have to try and make this go another 2 laps and then try and hope for a safety car or something. I mean, that's unfortunate again
also
for the Williams team.
For Devsy, I think that was...
Devsy is going to be the drive-through king of this season if he keeps up. Mercedes 1-2 in other news. Uj is on the back now of Mr. Chod, 69. He's got DRS. He's got no battery though. I think he's not conserving his battery quite well. Maybe he'll go for a lap or 2 where he'll just save here. But like I said, like I was saying about Rendog, very calm, very collected. He's not going super quickly. He's clearly managing tires because he's going just below the pace.
Also,
and if he was going to make the 1-stop work, if anyone was going to make the 1-stop work, it's probably going to be him, if I do say so.
And UJ, because I think one thing that is obvious, that was like half a lap of the safety car. This is probably in real pace translated to 1.5 to 2 seconds time that couldn't be made up by anyone who stopped first, and that is obviously ADS and Tarkingino.
Yeah.
They couldn't use their tire because everyone had to slow down to a delta and the positions were basically frozen in place as Jamaican Jam goes by on the vacant McLaren, who will be disqualified at the end because he's not racing himself. So he's pitting now.
1.4 seconds away from T-Brand now, and he's closing in. This is just
Tarkingino is
unfortunate,
with ADS.
man.
Tarkingino is with ADS now. Wait! What I'm seeing there? There's front wheel damage to ADS. There's front wheel. There's major damage to ADS. Tarkingino's maybe in position to lead. Tarkingino in position to lead. Let's check the delta for the leaders. He is.
Oh
he is over. He is basically undercutted. He's basically undercutted the leaders as of right now as UJ goes by on Mr. Chot. And is into second position. This is the race for the two stoppers. But he lost 7 seconds. He lost another 2 seconds in the last lap.
That gap wasn't 7 seconds. Is heavy as well. It's not like he's gonna need to pit, but he's got another 8 laps. He's got another 8 laps really. Until he should be able. Now he's going to have to convert to a one-stop and then manage those tyres. This is going horribly wrong for the front 2 guys. But, you know, Tarkingino win is on my bingo card for this year, so I'm happy either way, Herman.
Mr. Chot goes through again. Yeah, but you still didn't back him for this race to be in the podium, so I'm going to
this is exactly what happens every time. Is he
Jamaican Jam
big
goes
lock
by,
up from both of the guys. It's lap 12 now. I'd probably come in if I was these guys.
Yeah, end of 12 is the earliest we can do. End of 12 is the earliest we can do.
Fighting. I wouldn't fight there, guys. Just take it easy. Just take it easy. You're going to catch up to these guys regardless.
Is into the pit lane, and Tarkingino's fighting with T-Brand, takes away the position. No questions asked about who was going to win this fight because T-Brand needs to extend to go to the one stop now because of that additional trip through the pit lane. Another yellow. Who's that? That's Kwan, I think. Another 10 seconds. Might be the end of his race if he retires now. Another disappointing race. Let's see if he can stick through. There's still half of this race to go. UJ into second position. This fighting is obviously incredibly helpful for the guy that is currently leading this race after 2 major fuck-ups. I don't know what happened to ADS if he crashed on himself. I didn't think he was close enough to Tarkingino before. Dempsey takes Korn in the pit lane. Korn is at the moment continuing, and there's a big hit by UJ. No damage.
Everyone gets points today if you finish. I mean, Johnny Ragatoni's AI will be disqualified at the end of the race, so at least everyone will at least get 2 points or more. So I would suggest a finish because every point matters, as proven by the Season 7 finale in both Divisions 1 and 2. Every point matters. Every fastest lap.
Switch back from UJ after Chot goes extremely wide. Pit stop from the Indian. And the Spaniard is going through. And I think we're going to see pit stops at the end of this one because now Chot is basically telling UJ, if you don't respond to this, I'm gonna get by on you no matter what. Jamaican Jam is also in a podium position with that additional hard tire swap after the first guys came in, and obviously T-Brand is on what can only be described as a bit of spare rubber left on the tires, because this is probably not gonna feel like anything. Oh, he spins! I think he spun. No. Yeah, he spun. And Jamaican Jam is through.
From bad to worse, it's Jamaican Jam who's on for a provisional P2 here. Looking at, he's only 14.8 seconds behind the leaders. I mean, these guys are going to have to stop, I think, lap 18, lap 19. Lap 18, lap 19, go to the end. You know, you're going to have 11 laps on the last hard tyre, assuming that they've taken a harder allocation, which in Miami is the only real way to survive because the mediums are so terrible here. But yeah, if these guys keep it consistent, we could see a Jamaican Jam podium, which is something we haven't seen as yet. But he did say in your interview with him that it is going to come.
Yeah, if you even understood that because of this Discord issues. Okay, first thing I'm gonna mention out, if Rendog, and he is now pitting, he's gonna be roughly 10 seconds behind Tarkingino, who is yet to pit again as UJ goes again. Also goes into the pit lane as Korn collects 3 seconds. There's Jamaican Jam, another basically 3.5 seconds back from Tarkingino, so that's obviously gonna make a more beneficial part to Rendog's strategy, because he's gonna be further back from Rendog after his second stop. But tires, especially fresh, are really nice, and this like extra lap here, or maybe 2 laps even you can say, is obviously very good for Rendog. One thing, Jamaican Jam will be definitely in somewhat clear air. Tarkingino is about where Cranklord was, so that could be troublesome if he can't get through.
He's catching him, but Tarkingino is not exactly in push mode. He seems to be conserving his ERS. He's going through these corners,
also
not pushing, you know. But yeah, Jamaican Jam is catching. You know, who knows what will happen? It depends on the pit laps, I guess. If he decides to undercut, I mean, that is dangerous if you go in, because I remember I went a lap earlier than Energetic in this race, and that kind of cost me in terms of a little bit of tyres at the end, possibly, to go for a possible overtake and whatnot. So it's like you don't want to go too early, but if you do go early and you get that undercut and then you get that clear air, you're laughing. So it's all risk and reward here in the streets of Miami.
One thing to notice, Kovachka and Skid Solo went for a second medium just after the safe VSC ended, basically a lap later.
Crankshaw pitting lap 1, he's on his 12 lap old hards now.
And UJ is through on Skid Solo. Is there fight back? 0% on the battery. Outside line for the kick Sauber. Ferrari stays ahead for now, and yeah, better exit, and that is good, but next straight is coming up fast, so yeah, Kovachka is as well as Skid Solo need to go for the hards in like the next probably
3 laps. 3 or 4 laps, I reckon. Yeah.
It was very late to convert to that.
There's a yellow flag somewhere for a Haas. I think that's Salvi again.
Yeah.
I don't think he's missing any wing this time. Let's see where ADS has gotten to.
He's on softs, by the way.
He's on softs.
Yeah. Yeah, demotion to V-Cup coming in. And T-Brian is through on the air of Regazzoni as he just pitted for that hard tire, and that is incredibly
deep. Yeah, incredible.
Incredible. Rendog is on the back of Kovachka, who is yet to pit for the second time. He needs to, that is very conservative. That costs extreme amount of time, and he's still on the ERS button out of the corner. Hello, Rendog, wake up. Check your telemetry. Bro was just burning ERS inside of corners while on the brakes. You don't do that. And so it was left.
I think he left the toggle on. He's left the toggle on. That's what it is. Some guys use toggle, some guys use hold. So Kovachka.
Weird.
A hold is very good. Only use it when you want it.
Yeah, well, I know when
to forget it in corners.
Yeah, I don't forget. Like, I'm not that old as you. So.
You're getting there, Herman. You're getting there. Happy belated birthday to you, by the way, to our main commentator. Tarkingino had a 3-second gap and has lost 8/10 on this lap here. I wonder what went on there. Jamaican Jam cruising up.
I'm predicting pressure now for Tarkingino. I'm sorry, he's a very nice guy, but I don't think he was expecting to be leading the race on merit on this one stop. So I can see maybe he's unsure of what to do, especially. Maybe he's even thinking that the tires are currently in a bad state. We don't know. That could
He's
also
got
be
2 laps to the side. He's got the end of the... Yeah, that's classic.
Yeah,
that's normal. We don't even need to react to that anymore, because that's just seems to be a regular occurrence. He is a controller player playing no assist, so very big credit to UJ for all his accomplishments and podiums while doing basically loads of things that people can't even do on wheels sometimes. So, you know, those little inconsistencies need to be ironed out if he's going to be fighting Rowley for the championship.
Speaking of fighting, Kovachka and Rendog go back at it again, and there's a slight love tap from the Ferrari after exiting the first turn on a different speed level. They were fighting into turn 17 again, and there's a pit stop by the ADIs after using that soft tire. I can see why that kind of works and doesn't work at the same time. It's a bad tire for more than 5 laps. But you just mentioned about obviously Kovačka and Schizzolo. They need to come in as soon as they can to benefit from even though it's technically the worst tire, but obviously it's better after a couple of laps in terms of race pace, onto the hard tire to make sure they use the most of that and have the most amount of laps still left, and obviously jump the people who are probably on that one stop in between the midfielders, because they are going to be dropping back a couple of positions anyway, I assume, further down the order, where currently the AI of Johnny is. So yeah, I think P10 and above is still possible for both Schizzolo and Kovačka, because Salvi is an additional 10 seconds behind that. Despite him obviously being able to go through, he's on 7-lap old hard tire, so yeah, that is no big task there. The gap at the front is stabilized at around 2.4, 2.5, was 2.7 at some stage as well. So yeah, still
this is
lots
the lap,
and lots
Herman.
of
This is the lap.
Oh my God, Kovačka almost loses it.
Oh,
that was close. That was so close. Almost hit the wall.
So we've got a couple of.
And
Oh, and he nearly loses it again. I think his tyres are starting to give up. Those mediums that he's been on for 8 laps now. He's going to be pitting in the next lap, guaranteed. T-Brand goes to the fastest lap. If he can do anything, he can do a quick lap. When I was making this division, I did think that T-Brand would be winning every race, but it's good to see him proving me wrong and making it interesting for us to watch. Tarkan Gino improves his time again to 2.5 gap. I bet any money he's probably going to be pitting in now. I mean, do not overextend. Do not overextend. I did that in my Division 1 race on a Monday and lost a bunch of time, and it just put me into traffic. So do not overextend, guys. I must admit that I thought it would have been a great idea, but it was a terrible idea in the end. We've got these guys on a one-stop who you're probably going to have to pass. Uj also looking to with the yellow fuel icon. Not sure if he's underfueled a little bit as well. Rendog, he's been yellow from the beginning.
0.2. That's not too bad. That can be achieved. If he gets into the DRS of anyone before they pit, which I doubt, maybe. Is they gonna pit?
Yeah, 0.2, 0.1.
Called it. Takagino's in. Jamaican Jam is
in.
Yeah.
It's the perfect lap. It's the perfect lap to come in.
So yes, Rendog is gonna. He can't.
Rendog is gonna carry on.
Can't push that much because then he's gonna be losing.
This is the thing. We've got 10 laps. Okay, Rendog's been fighting the Ferrari for laps now. He's already done 5 laps on his tires. These guys now need to push to the end. Push to the end as hard as you can. You will probably catch, but it's whether you've got the know-how to make that overtake and whether, you know, Rendog can make that Mercedes as wide as he can when traversing these things. He's got a good lead now. Did call it from the beginning as ADS goes to the fastest lap. Let's see where he's coming at in regards to his teammate. Still 32 seconds behind the leader there. I think he can get into the top 5. That would be great, but I'm not holding out hope, unfortunately.
T-Brand 4th position currently after the final stops isn't too bad, as a brief yellow because of Devsy at the start-finish straight. Isn't too bad, obviously, as I'm interested to see if Tarkan Gino is actually now in the mode to push.
He needs to be pushing. He needs to be pushing. It needs to be a flat-out qualifying. Every lap is a qualifying lap. Leave nothing out on track there, because, you know, if you do, you're going to lose. And, you know, to have a win is such a special feeling. You know, when you're in the seat like he is right now, where he could possibly clinch that win, his first win in SSRL history, your legs do start to shake. I'm not going to lie. There's been many times that I've been either leading a race or in second, chasing down Snake many times. And, you know, I'm just so nervous that something may happen or something may go wrong. So, yeah, you just got to bite down, grit and bear it, and just get through and just go as fast as you can. It's very difficult around this track, but we can see what you can do as T-Brand is still on that one stop. He's 2.2 seconds ahead, and Tarkan Gino is reining in. You know, he's still coming.
For Crank-York after 18 laps on these hard tires, so I'm sure he's on a medium now. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, you earlier said that obviously overextending on that second medium because of the very interesting late overextension from Kovachka and I think that was Skid Solo where kind of in the wrong spot to make the best out of the tire, but still kind of went over the limit. Like if you have less fuel, then anything above 8 laps is still uncomfortable, but like the first stint was only basically 8 laps with full fuel. And that's obviously interesting. I was more talking about Takajina in the sense that if you're at the front and you kind of get these nerves, and I was kind of assuming that was the case for at least a couple of moments time, that you kind of have to reroute your brain to think, okay, now you kind of have to take it a bit with caution, because if you overthink it, then you start to act up on the driving naturally. But this is now completely the opposite, where he couldn't really push that hard additionally, because he would have put himself onto the back foot because there was no tire advantage, and then he would have burned through most of the ERS without really recovering, and that isn't really the best scenario for you. As I think the Ibo goes wide again into the 17 hairpin, letting people through.
I think my strategy, knowing that I had to come from the back again after my second pit stop at lap 17-18, you've got to be smooth and you've got to be quick. You've got to make every corner count. You can't use too much of your ERS, but you shouldn't also save too much of your ERS. It's a very delicate balance that you've got, because currently he's got 12 seconds to make up and he's only got 8 laps to do it. And if Rendog just continues with his smooth drive and he's got half a tank of ERS, he's going good, he's not making any mistakes, he will win this race, Herman. You know, he will win this race. The time is coming down, but it all depends on those final few laps of where, you know, the tires are going to start slipping for Rendog and Mr. Chod. And it just goes to show that if he doesn't make quick work of T-Bran or Hugh J, which I think he's probably going to have a little bit of trouble getting past those guys quickly, then he will lose this race.
Yeah, there's still a significant margin to be overcome, and especially if this fight lasts longer for a couple of corners with T-Bran now. It's gonna be in the back foot. Biggest thing, obviously, that helped Rendog is that Mr. Chod fought with UJ before the pit stop. I think Kubashka that was. And now again, so he obviously bought time to what is second position. And this could be Mercedes 1-2. And with the laps ticking down and Takajino still not in the DRS of T-Band despite the tire advantage, this is more looking like the one stop you would have liked. The VSC wasn't that long. It obviously helped a bit. Like at that time, ADS and Takajino couldn't push additionally. So I would say that probably a second is at least lost on that. So he could be ahead even by now. But this is all would have, could have, and all of the things you kind of imagine in hindsight, basically. As there's another yellow. I think
yellow flag for McLaren Azebo.
He is, I think, also lagging on the track map, so sometimes there's maybe a bit of a PC issue.
Jamaican Jam not really making any time. Tarkangino's done 2 seconds in this lap. He's behind T-Bran now. This is his time, you know. He's just got to get past. T-Bran's got a little bit more battery than him. I believe he's in the DRS now. Let me check the gaps.
Oh, he missed.
No, he's not got DRS.
He fucked the exit of that chicane, and now he's gonna be losing out.
And
probably even more, but his straight line speed is good. He used a bit of more battery, but his straight line speed is way better. UJ is back again and in front of Mr. Chod. So yeah, I think Rendog is in the position to do all of the fuel saving he still needs to be doing. It's 0.1 laps of fuel still left in the negative, which is judging by the current lap count not too bad and easily achievable. So yeah,
6 laps to go and we've got basically 9.5 seconds. I don't think he's going to make it. He needs to make quick work of T-Bran, and he's still got to get through all these other guys. I mean, it's not easy. No one ever said it was easy, but you know, he should have been pushing, I think, a lot more on those laps where he was leading to get that little bit extra time. To then now he doesn't have to push as much, but still, yeah, I think this is going to be unfortunate for these guys. These guys just, they're not fast enough to make the team.
Oh, he goes around the outside. T-Brand defends the inside, but Takajino's wide. Doesn't hack the apex to the left-hand side turn
Someone's
as much
crashed.
as needed.
Against Devzy. Devzy's in the middle.
Yeah, Desi is
He's going to get
between.
DRS, I think. Or is he not?
No, I don't think
Interesting.
so.
Oh, and this is what I'm talking about. The tyres are getting a little bit worse for wear for the guys on the one stop. He just can't get close enough. He doesn't have the battery, Herman.
Yeah, there's more fuel saving done by Rendog. Loses a bit of time, but that's fine. Desi brings out a brief yellow to let the guys behind through. Yeah, I think, if anything, if Takajino passes in the next lap or two, then it's definitely only 4 for him, because he is not going to make up 4 seconds and then benefit from the 3 seconds. So yeah,
it's
tough.
happened like I called it, though. It's happened like I called it. If the guys fought, if the guys had to fight on the 2-stop, or they had traffic that they couldn't maneuver, then you know it's curtains for them. But the guys on the 1-stop, I mean, Rendog's done pretty well. He didn't fight with the guys in front, the 2 guys, ADS, and he didn't fight with T-Brand. He just kind of cruised up behind them, used the DRS, played the long game. You looked at any of his laps today, there were no signs of pushing at all. He was cruising pretty much, and it looks like he's going to cruise to victory today, because even if Uj gets past him, you know, I doubt he will pull a 3-second gap on T-Brand there in the laps that's remaining.
Mr. Short 2 positions as well as Rendog, but he will inherit that 3-second time penalty from UJ, who is currently going to be up by 10 positions, the most of any guy inside of this race. And their biggest loser for now are Salvi, Desi, and Kwan, who lost 6, 5, and 5 positions respectively, as well as ADS, who started second, remind you. So every time he's been on the front row, he hasn't finished there, and despite this race still having like roughly 5 laps, and anything could happen, and stranger things have probably happened. It's not going to be happening here tonight, as Mr. Chot has lost the DS to UJ, who's gapped him a bit and is pushing down on Rendog below 2 seconds now, which is currently not enough to A, pass him, and B ahead of the 3rd place car, as T-Brand has actually made up some seconds here. It's down to 2.6 seconds, so someone is dropping like a stone to water, they would say, and Mr. Chot might be under the water soon, and there is I'm not talking about the fake water in the harbor there in turn 8, but he's gonna be in trouble.
Jam. Still not really gaining on the guys in front there. You know, these guys should be, you know, these fresher tires, the hards are so good from lap 3 to 6 onwards. You know, that they're nice and tasty. You need to push and use them, obviously without pushing yourself into a wall. But it looks like T-Brand is now finding a little bit of pace, because he's nearly out of that DRS now. Look at it.
Was close, but Takajino managed to hold on to that exit. Jamaican Jam has found another 2/10 there on the final.
Yeah, Takajino's lagging off now because he's his battery's a little bit lower.
UJ is close, almost down to a second. Battery is good for none of the top 2, so they are doing this.
I don't know. Rendog's kind of alright with 30% versus.
But he's still on a margin for the fuel, as well as I think
UJ's out of the margin now. He's fine with his fuel. I think let's have a look and see what we can.
And Takajino's dropped off.
0.1.
Takajino
Sorry, I think he'll be okay.
In the DS. Takajino's not in the DS of T-Brand.
I think your pressure talk got to him.
I was analyzing if he has pressure, and it's based on the
ADS
car language, I would
up.
say,
He's closing up on Kvachka.
Jamaican Jam is also closing on Takajino. The gaps are spreading in a sense, but also coming down, like 2 seconds only. This could be still troublesome for Takajino, despite no tire, let's say at least clear tire disadvantage or advantage for any of these 2. Takajino is hopping over these curbs inside of the chicane. And there's DRS for the first time from UJ onto Rendog, and he's about to gap Mr. Chod 8/10 in the next 3 laps. So there's one clear target for Rendog. Fight UJ, so his teammate takes second position, and they take a 1-2 for Mercedes.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely epic. But I think T-Bran is going to be looking for that second place there, as he's got a masterful recovery drive, as he's sure to probably be within the DRS at the end of this section, because Mr. Chod's just had a little bit of a moment. He's 8/10 there as he follows him through turn 3, going into turn 4. So yeah, he's looking to get that. He's not letting go of that at least P2 spot just yet.
And he's there.
And he's got the battery to do it. I mean, he's got triple the battery from what I can see. And he's not using a lot of it. He's just sitting in hot lap. This guy is sure to... yeah, he's going to get him.
Oh, what about the first place? On track, it wouldn't matter because of the time penalty, but obviously takes up time and would bring these guys behind in position. Let's see if the tires hold on. 30 laps for Rendog, for UJ. 30 laps for T-Brand. 14 for Mr. Chotters, feeling the pressure of the guy behind who was sitting on pole position. This straight is the best overtaking opportunity. The Wims is gonna line up the Mercedes. There's no DS assistance available to him. The last couple of laps about the podium could be crucial. And
contact!
Contact!
Contact from UJ and Rendog. Is he going to let him pass? Oh, look at the sportsmanship on that. Yeah, that's fair enough. He did clip his side pod on the entry there into the final turn, and he lets him pass. I feel that's great sportsmanship. It's lovely to what we see, but T-Bran is on the hunt.
Tarkingino is through as well. Tarkingino is through after exit of turn 17. The Aston Martin takes 4th position away. No Mercedes 1-2. If anything happens, this is gonna be definitely off the cards, as now Rendog has to manage the guy behind, who is still trying to push on to make gaps to the guys behind, because currently he's gonna lose to everyone behind almost. What is that?
Battery though, Rendog. If I was Rendog, I would let him through. I would let him through. For sure, I would let him through, because he's got more battery.
He's on barely anything. UJ, that is. Is there pressure from Tarkingino now onto the podium position? That would be second place. Whoever finishes in front is gonna take second place. And they end the DS train of the guys ahead. This could be a 4 or 5-way fight to the end. I doubt Mr. Chod has some tires left, but these guys need to be making sure the rears are staying intact. There was a slight hit at the back there for the second Mercedes, as UJ is probably trying to go for it.
He's not going to make it. He doesn't have the battery, Herman, I don't think.
Yeah,
unless
he's
it's a
out
lunge.
of battery.
He is going to be a lunge.
He locks both of the tires.
Oh,
Slide tap. Nothing happens. T-Bran exit could be crucial now. Isn't close enough to it.
Oh, yellow flag. Oh, Tarkingino. Is he going to go for it? No, T-Bran goes defensive. He needs to save his battery through this
They have no battery here.
Oh,
Final lap of the race. Final lap of the race. Second position to T-Bran. Third position to Tarkingino because of time penalty from UJ. The win currently goes to Rendog.
He's going to run out of fuel, Herman.
Is he?
I think so. I'm having a look now. It says
plus, I think. Plus 1.1. What? 1.10 basically.
I'm seeing his red thing flashing. Hopefully he's managed to
Yeah, that's because the last lap everyone is flashing, I think. Like if you started over just one lap, then it's fine.
See.
Tarkingino's going for it. He was so close, but he stayed to none. That could be troublesome, because if T-Bran now takes second position, he needs to overtake too. T-Bran has played an absolute masterclass here, bringing a car in between him and Tarkingino. Tarkingino's losing the opportunity to take second position. Is T-Bran gonna take the win on the final lap of the race after having a drive-through penalty? Here comes the Williams. No DS assistance from the Mercedes.
He's gonna have to go defensive, Herman. Will he go defensive?
He needs to do something.
He needs to go defensive right here. Oh no, Tarkingino. Not Tarkingino, T-Bran. No way.
He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. Is there?
Oh,
they
that's
clash.
contact.
They clash. UJ is route. Who has the better exit? G-Man is not through. He spins! He spins! Tarkin
No
Gino
way,
second!
any DNS! Oh my
Tarkin Gino
God!
second! Red Dog takes the first win of SSRL. Mr. Chot is in third position. It's a Mercedes. 1-3 as Jamaican Jam jumps to fourth. UJ stays in fifth. And ADS and everyone else will be awarded an extra position because Chiba just crashed on the final lap of the race, on the final corner of the race. Incredible!
Insane! This is insane! All he had to do was be gentle with it. Oh no! He did complete 90% of the race, so wherever he finishes, which will probably be P14 or P15, he will get points.
Devsy is through and Ibo's lapped twice at least, so it's 13.
So yeah, so P13.
Absolute shocker for Williams.
P12 after the disqualification of Johnny Ragazzoni because his car was fully AI for the entire race.
True.
So, oh, heartbreak, Herman, heartbreak.
Tarkin Gino podium! I called it! Let's go! And Mercedes 1-3.
We've got many firsts today.
My
where did UJ actually finish on track?
Third, I think, because he spun as well on the last corner. He had a half spin, and then everyone behind was through anyway. My God, what the fuck?
Tarkin Gino saying sorry, UJ in the chat. I don't know what went wrong. I missed it. I will have to try and review that. Quan in P12. He finishes the race.
Wait,
I cannot believe the lack of
Jamaican Jam fourth?
Jamaican Jam is fourth, yes.
That's 2 points for me. Let's go.
I'm not good at these guessing games, as proven by...
Race winner, Randog. Fast lap goes to the S. Extra point that drive today's skits. Yeah, great comeback from, I think, 10th starting position. Most overtakes UJ. Yeah, Jamaican
Rendog's having a cracking season, isn't he? 1 P2, 1, and now he's on the top step. Mercedes have taken full advantage of this Aston Martin team member, Rolly, who's missing today, unfortunately. But Gino does his best. I still personally think he could have won the race if he pushed a little bit harder. But what an ending! What a last few couple of laps.
Yeah, that was incredible. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, you've seen the top 5. 6 goes to ADS, Kovachka 7, Skid Solar 8, then Krankyork, yeah, disqualification for Regazzoni, so Salvi goes to 10th, Quan, then T-Brand, because he finished 90%, basically 99% of the race, and then Devsy and Ibo, who scores points but are lapped, and yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck? What just happened?
I can't believe he crashed at the end of the final corner, final lap, man. That's just... I just can't believe that.
He just went, and I did, like, I was watching, I think, Randog over the line, or I think Tarkin Gino, so the camera was peeling away from that. And I didn't think that the hit was heavy, so... Oh my God.
That is...
Crazy.
I don't know whether Gino has ever taken an interview, so this will be his first interview. You know, there's a lot of firsts, and I'm here for it. There's a lot of first stuff, and I'm really here for it. It feels really good. Salvi, congratulations to Salvi. He actually finished P11.
I'm asking him now. Wheel or controller? Today.
Sorry about that. So zero for the race.
What?
Yep.
The flipping.
Well, we've got one of the guys. Is there anyone you'd like to call in for an interview?
No, the rest is basically. I would say UJ, but he doesn't want to because of his English. So.
Oh, okay. So, just the
Mercedes. I'm fine with them not immediately joining, so I can have a quick drink after that one.
Yeah, you're gonna need that for sure. Let's get them all in. Let's get it going, because I need to go to work. As I wait for my rig to be delivered tomorrow. Oh, the winner is here. If you'd like to take it away, Herman.
Yeah, let's do that. Obviously, second position in the Japanese Grand Prix comes down to one nail-biting finish at the Miami GP as Rendog takes his first win in SSRL and takes another podium center of the season. You have, that one must have been very intense for you, and especially with the different tire strategy. These tires are probably on the edge, as I've experienced myself. How was that? And especially talk us through the last couple of laps, and especially that final hairpin into turn 17 on the final lap.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened on the last corner there, but I made the strategy work, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, there was a lot of fighting going on throughout this race, and then there was obviously a VSC presented to you. Was always the case that you wanted to go for the one stop?
I was going to pit, but as I come round the last corner, it went green, and I thought I might as well just stop out, so I stopped out.
Yeah, that is obviously very good if you manage to do that, and also T-Brand was handed a drive-through penalty for that. Did you particularly prep for this one? How was this compared to maybe Canada?
Miami is one of my worst tracks, so I did about 500 laps practice. So I'm not gonna lie, I've been practicing.
How is that for preparation, eh? How is that?
I even did some rain preparation, but it didn't rain luckily enough.
All right, and obviously we're gonna head to Shanghai next. What is your feeling about that track you're gonna join?
I love Shanghai, so hopefully we'll have a good result.
That sounds good. Congratulations on your win again, and speak to you maybe in 7 days' time for China.
Thank you.
And we're moving on to Tarkin Gino is taking his first SSRL podium. Tarkin Gino, it has been some time now you've been with us, and it finally has happened after a very tricky race, especially at the later stages of your second stint. You weren't really able to get by on T-Brand and make positions up, but you still pulled through when something happened in front of you. Obviously, UJ's penalty and then T-Brand's very uncharacteristic spin on the final corner. How was the race for you, and how are your emotions after that first podium?
Yes, I'm really glad. My first podium. Yeah, mate, I'm really glad. The last corner, I don't know what's happened there with OG. Really, he spinned in front of me, and yes, first podium for me. I'm really glad. Yes, mate.
So, super. Yeah, obviously the strategy was very much on edge all the time. You were obviously committed to that two-stop. We were talking about that you obviously needed to push on the final attempt. Did you try? Did you feel like there was something missing for you from the setup, maybe because you were not really catching in front, but then still at the end the tires of the others were going away? How was that setup for you?
I don't know, the first three laps, first 3 laps I go hard, and then I lose very grip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think too low downforce. I think.
Okay. Yeah, obviously big points for Aston Martin as Rolly was missing, so yeah, obviously that is gonna help for
my friend.
Yeah, the Constructors Championship, which is still going to be on. China's next. How you feel about that track?
Yeah, very good. Good race next week. I hope my mates are ready. We go for the second podium.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Looking forward to that. Obviously, maybe both of you on the podium would be nice as well. And congratulations again on finding the podium, second position, and take care until next week.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
GG's, Tino. GG's, man.
And we're moving to third position. Also first time, and Mr. Chod has done that in 4 races only. There was some fighting at the end, and obviously trying to keep these tires alive. You have been on the back foot in Canada after qualifying ban, pulled through on amazing race pace and strategy to a top 6 finish. And now today you're on the podium after some up and down there, especially at the end where the guys with the faster tire were coming up to you, but you managed to pull through and finish on the podium. How was that for you today?
Yeah, really good, amazing. It was tough. It was really tough with the tire deg today. So as you could probably tell towards the end, my tires were going real quick. Just hit a bit of a brick wall. But I think I was just gifted the podium at the end.
Yeah, that was a very uncharacteristic spin at the end from T-Brand, who also resulted in a fast DNF. So that obviously helped your cause. I was wondering about something inside of the at the end of the basically the first stint for both of you, and obviously I think Kovachka was at that time, where you were fighting a lot, and obviously the gap to Rendog extended. Were you like in contact before about how things should be going, or have you been before of how you approach the season? Because this looked like very much a very tactical approach from the team side of things. So how was your fight purely because both of you went really much faster than the other, or were you actively trying to extend the gap to your teammate in front?
No, we didn't really speak about it, and we weren't in conversation at all throughout whatsoever. I think it was just a case of qualifying positions, which kept us in those positions throughout the race. Really, the only thing that I did say is I messaged him before the race and asked him about pit strategy and sort of what he was thinking with it. Because I've never raced on Miami. This is my first time racing on it. So I had a little practice yesterday, ran a practice session yesterday, and that's pretty much all I've done on Miami. So this is a massive result to be able to get a podium.
Yeah, I can share that feeling. One also my first appearance ever in Miami a couple of years back. So if you don't know the track when it's new, or in general new to yourself, then it's obviously a bit more sweeter when you don't expect that. That result. Obviously, strong finish for Mercedes. You have been looking very good throughout the first 4 races, and obviously consistency throughout the season will make or break a championship fight. You seem to be very much inside of the top end of the midfield. Currently, it's lacking a bit in qualifying. Is there any tracks inside of the season coming basically next up who are maybe going to suit you, or is qualifying just going to be a work in progress for you throughout the rest of the season?
I think it's very much going to be work in progress. Again, China next week is another one that I haven't raced a lot at all, really. But I think as long as I get a decent amount of practice in beforehand, not quite 500 laps like Rendog did, but yeah, that's pretty intense. But yeah, I'm hoping to at least run maybe two race run practices and see where I can get up to on that.
All right, looking forward to more from you, and obviously congrats again on that P3 finish. That begs a lot of points for Mercedes, and it's gonna obviously tighten the fight at the front with Aston Martin, yourselves, and Ferrari for the next 6 races we yet to complete, and so obviously hope to speak you maybe again in China in 7 days' time. Goodbye.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah, Quincy, that has been one hectic finale. That was one of the more interesting ends to race you can definitely call for sure, despite the bit of a drop off in between after the final pit stop, so those 2 stoppers happened. The 1 stop once again prevailed. I'm happy to see that, and I'm going to continue to believe that the traffic thing, despite the small intervention by the safety car, still a big factor, and especially if you are not in the DS chain immediately with lots and lots of people on the same pace that can pull you through, then sometimes it's helpful to pick off one by one, but sometimes it's obviously more dreadful to try to push through on your own pace. So interested to see if that continues throughout Miami instead of this year's
it's
game
definitely
or next time, but
it's definitely a mix because like I said, when I did Miami, the hards did take a little bit of time to warm up, but my strategy towards that was to just drive the car harshly, just be making aggressive turn-ins and whatnot, and that's the way I activated the tires immediately. So maybe some of these guys were just driving a little bit too conservative because the tires and the warm-up stage not pushing. I was pushing from lap 1 to lap 28, 29, all the way through, and that's how I progressed my race. But it's good to see that still different strategies were still working, because T-Bran on the end there could have actually won the race there if he had just a little bit of different movements here or there, and he could have won the race. But glad to see another new race winner in SSRL history who's going to be added to the Hall of Fame. and also some new podium sitters as well. Tarkan Gino and his wife, congratulations to you guys. You sound so made up, and it's really good to hear that people are very much enjoying it, being here and racing here. It warms my heart.
Yeah, we do obviously enjoy that as well, as we've certainly seen lots and lots of great racing so far, and back-to-back races where it was decided on the final couple of turns. So Canada in the last chicane this time, basically last 3 turns. So yeah, very contested fight, and I can see China, especially with tire wear again there, gonna be interesting as well. And that hairpin at the end of the lap is obviously inviting for late moves, especially on the last lap, and then obviously a fight through the last turn that is tricky to get through with 2 people. So maybe even a late track limit warning to lose out on the race win or something crazy. We're gonna see next time. It's gonna be around 5 out of 10, and it's gonna be the one-shot full qualifying, as you can see on screen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a format we've introduced recently, where you need to set a time inside of the full qualifying format inside of the first 5 laps for each session, and then obviously the slowest 5 and 5 respectively throughout Q1 and Q2 get eliminated before we head to a normal round of Mexico. United States is in Vegas, and I think Italy Monza is gonna be our what was the additional one we had?
Now you're asking. It's just one's Monaco and Australia to finish.
Yeah, there's something special on round 8, but I forgot.
Round 8 is supposed to be. Was
All
it round 8
tires?
or round 9? I think it was something. Bear with me. I've got the announcement here. Reverse grid sprint.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Nothing
So
but
we're going to be
tires.
doing a 25% race, coming back into the lobby, and then doing the 50% race based on the results of the 25% race finishing, getting rid of quali altogether. So that should be another fun one. Some
Yeah.
people may DNF in the sprint and then not. That could lose valuable points. You never know what's going to happen. Join us again Tuesdays. That's where you need to be.
Yeah, follow this channel to be with us live, or check out VODs on YouTube. Search there for Silly Season Racing League. Until next time, thanks for Quincy, and congrats again to the top 3 for tonight. See you next time. Good night and take care. Bye.
Good night.